Hello everyone, in this short video I want to share with you a strategic mindset to help you to improve not only usability things but make sure that you are addressing business result and you are helping the business to growth in different areas. So the concept here it's called outcomes over outputs and a strategic mindset to get business result using design. That's the main idea. Sounds really good, right? And these come from two books that I read that I really recommend to you to read through. One is this one called Outcomes Over Outputs: Why Customer Behavior is a Key Metric for Business Success. And the other one it's called Impact Mapping. So I will cover in detail each of these ones so you can have a better understanding. But first, it is important to define what is this thing of outcome, because many people have different idea of what we mean by outcomes. But in this context, an outcome is a change in the human behavior that drive business result. So the main thing here is the change in the human behavior. So that's why you want to achieve. You want to make sure that your design is gonna change in somehow how a person is doing something, right? And that change should be observable, measurable, and meaningful. That's also key to understand, that have to be something that you actually can measure. And if you go here, there is an example here. So there is a problem. Drivers are turning right where they shouldn't, right? Well, that's a problem. So how can we solve that problem? So the problem here, this is the entire flow, so you can have a better picture. Drivers are turning right where they shouldn't. The output, like the thing, the solution, let's say in that context is, okay, let's install a no right turn scene. So if you are building a software, somebody can say, let's have a model, let's have a drop down, let's have a button, a bigger button. So that's the output. So that's the thing that we want to avoid. But the real outcome that what we want to do is drivers keep turning right despite of the sign. So let's say this is a problem. We install the sign, which is the output, and then what happened is that the same thing are keep happening because we weren't aware of the human behavior. That's the thing that we want to change. So the desired outcome really is that drivers stop turning right at the wrong intersection. So here, the output, as you can tell here, it did not create the behavior change that we expected. And this shows why focusing only on delivering isn't enough. We need to measure real impact. So going deeper into the definition of what an outcome is an outcome is not a new functionality, it's not a new feature, it's not a new model or drop down or flashy UI. It's not a deliverable. It's a change in the human behavior you want to see regardless of how you achieve it. When we define an outcome, we are not saying we're going to build this new functionality that people are going to love. We are saying we want users to do this more frequently or less frequently. We want to reduce time. We want to take user to achieve this particular thing, right? So the outcomes allows flexibility, credibility in how to shift the change. So we set up what is the outcome, and then we can test different ideas on how can we solve that specific outcome. So we are not tied or get in love with a specific solution. It's solution agnostic in that sense. So yes, it's solution agnostic. It's focused on behavior change, not in the solution. Enables flexibility and experimentation because now you have different way of how can you achieve that. Guides the team toward impact and not deliverable, which is really important. For instance, there are a couple of examples here, like new users saying their first messages with within 15 minutes on sign up. That's a behavior change. It's a fact activation. User prefer using Navgar or any tool over external tool to manage tasks. Asana, we can use whatever we want to put here. The number of flows marked as block decreased by 25%. Let's say if you are using Zapier, you wanna do these flows and you wanna make sure that they are not blocked. Teams report fewer missed deadlines. That's a behavior change that we wanna see. So you can see it's really what is the change that we want to see in the world, not the specific solution itself. So the outcome, it's first we have the business impact, which is the main driver for the company. Then we have what is the outcome that we want to achieve, and then the output is a specific solution to achieve that outcome. And then here I have an interesting example that I get from a video on YouTube that I don't remember the name, but I will post later. And for instance, let's say we are working on a new project and we are on scope, we are on time, and we are on outcome, right? So that's the three aspects that we are measuring here. So in this one, we can say we are successful in the scope, we get things on time, but we didn't achieve the outcome. So that's a failure. In this case, if we go back here, we may say, okay, we define the problem, we create the outcome, which is this signal. We did it on time, we did it on budget, but we didn't achieve the outcome. So that is a failure, because that's the main purpose of the design, right? Like, you didn't achieve the desired outcome. So that's why it's important to be able to measure the specific result. But could be another way around, or you can say you didn't the scope right, you didn't the time right, but the outcome was good. We changed the behavior. So in that sense, that's successful project. So this is the type of thing that if we are creating this in a specific project, we can see what the specific question that we might to ask. What is the behavior that we want to see? What is the business result would impact or support that? What idea we want to test? How will we know that it is working? That's a part of measurement. So the loop is essential. It helps to connect user value to business value, which is exactly how we find the product market fit. In the case you are working on a market fit scenario, but if you are not working on a product market fit scenario, it could be any specific solution that you want to test because you want to improve a specific metric on the business. And then we have another concept from the other book that I mentioned, which is mapping impact. It is really interesting because it allows you to see in a big picture all the integrating parts and how can you achieve this. So you have a goal, which is where you want to do, right? Like what is the main thing? You have the actors, like people that are involved on this. What is the impact that you want to see, and what is specific deliverable or solution or output that you want to test to see if you are going to achieve that goal. And here I have a couple of examples to see outcome mapping in action. So here I'm combining mapping, impact mapping, and the outcome ideas, right? So here you have your business goal, your OKR, or whatever you want. You have a general outcome. As I mentioned, the general outcome is a change in human behavior that drive you this OKR that is going to help you to achieve this. And then let's say this is a hypothetical example where you are in a clinic, you are a receptionist, and that's your actor. So who is the person that is going to act on these specific actions, right? You have outcome number 1, outcome number 2, outcome number 3. Then you drill down in a specific solution that you want to test, and this is like your main idea. and then you have one specific album. I'm gonna put the button bigger. Here I'm gonna hide the button. Here I'm gonna add a form. Here I'm gonna add AI voice record thing. So you can test different ideas, but you have in mind what is the outcome, which is the most important thing, right? And then here's more specific example with details. So outcome mapping action. So let's say this is a business goal. The objective is increase operational efficiency and reduce no-shows and key results. And in this example, it's a clinic. 80% of clinics adopt WhatsApp to confirm the future. So that's a key result for the objective. 30% reduction in no-shows, 60% of patient confirmed through WhatsApp. That's the main business thing, right? So we as a designer, we don't have control over this goal. And then we understand or define what is the outcome that is going to help you to achieve the business goal. So the outcome is this. Most patients confirm the appointments without requiring manual follow-up from the clinic staff. So that's the main thing that we want to do it. It doesn't matter how, because that's the primary thing that if we do this, we're gonna achieve the business goal. And then we have the actor, in this case, it's a clinic receptionist, and this specific actor also have its own outcome. This one, for instance, clinic staff no longer need to call patients to confirm appointments. And then you drill down into a specific solution. And the good thing about this is that you can change or iterate over these solutions, right? Because what you want to do is to achieve this outcome. So one solution is WhatsApp-based confirmation automation, receptionist notification dashboard, and then you have specific deliverables. Message flow templates, confirmation tracking dashboard, staff onboarding guides, and then you have another outcome here, which is more related to the patients. Patients confirm on cancel appointments without 24 hours of receiving a reminder. Solutions: reminder plus confirm cancel system, simple mobile friendly UX interaction, and you have specific outputs. So the same thing you can do with each of the actor and each of the outcome, and then you can start iterating to see if you are moving the needle of the business, right? So keep going with the presentation here. It's built for outcomes. It's the main core idea that you want to leave after this presentation. So what change do we want to see in the user and in the world? What result should we create for us? What is the smallest thing that we can build to test it? Because we need to test and iterate to see if this is gonna improve or not what we want to improve. What would happen if we all cheat from what are we delivering to what outcomes are we creating? So that's a completely mindset when you are working with a team. Because in many cases, people in many teams I have seen that people just focus on outputs and not in the outcome. But here, what we are saying is that instead of focusing on outputs, focus on the outcome because that's the real thing that we want to change. It's more intentional. It's more ideally for what is the thing that you want to change because that is the real impact that is going to affect the business result. So yeah, that's the thing that I want to share with you guys. Let me know if you like it or not, or if you want me to create more of this type of video. And see you soon, and thank you so much.